please welcome Mr. Red Weeman.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everybody. It is March 20th, 2023. Hi, Michael Graham. Julie, how you doing? Chain Weaver. That's great. I'm glad it's nice out there. Mobbed Up Podcast. How you doing, guys? Rhonda Moretti. How you doing? Rhonda. Hey, Red, y'all, Italian cowgirl checking in. Thank you, sweetheart. Julie, you're only a couple degrees off of what we are here, which is a joke. Frank Ferrero, by National Ravioli Day. That's a good one. Tony Magnifici, or Jim Magnifici says hi, Tony. I believe. Here we are. Tony Johnson. Thank you. Thank you all for stopping by. Appreciate it. At any rate, before I get into the story that I had scheduled, I wanted to talk to you about something. And thank you, Michael. Hit that like button. We all need, I need all the help I can get, guy. The Guerreros, James and Catherine. How you doing? Mike Bergen. Very good. Was the cameraman WG? I don't know. Hit that like button, folks. At any rate, thank you. I really appreciate it, Julie. I decided after talking to Chris sent me a complimentary book, and actually I might go on the show. I might have him on my show. Chris Curtis came out with a book, and Gopher Dog, good afternoon from Augusta, Georgia. Not far away. Love Augusta, nice town. So, what I did was I put the book that I want to promote right in here. And this way, there it is. Orange County, The Dark Side. Chris did this all by himself. I helped him a little bit, gave him some pointers on how to write a book, and he really did a fabulous job. Different kind of story. It's not an alpha story. He's in California. He served a lot of time in prison, and a very good book, though. Excellent book. I recommend it highly, very highly. So there's a link in the description of where you can purchase it at Amazon. And if you folks feel a need to, or you're curious, you can get it on. It's in paperback for $14.95. It's in Kindle, and then it's in hardcover. So I think you might like it. I did. I liked it. I really did. And I don't read that much. So, getting away from that, Tim Pepperoni, good afternoon from Erie, Colorado. Thank you, Sam Adams. I appreciate you hitting that like button. Tim Pepper, yeah, it does a little bit of drug activity. Boy, he spent a lot of time in prison. And that's where he is. He's in Orange County, California. We had Adam stopping by. Hey, hi, Adam. Basically, Mike, it's a biography, kind of. He changed some of the names to because their people are alive, and he didn't want to get them in trouble. But it's an interesting book. If you go to Amazon, the link is there to go to Amazon in the description. If you go to Amazon and you read about it, it'll give you an idea of exactly what it's about. But I like his style, and I like the. I'm not really a drug fan, but it was interesting. Adam saying hi. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Big Mo. How you doing, guy? Adam. Oh. You had a friend that was a chips officer in Orange County. Adam wants me to tell you my fishing story. Okay, we can get into that before I get into my regular story. I went on the river, and I wanted to go catfish fishing. And I leaned over. This was this morning, and we caught a lot of channel cat, and I was leaning over the boat with a net to actually pull in my catch. And somebody that thinks that I'm too ancient or too elderly said, "Come on, I'll give you a hand with that." And they came to my side of the boat, and guess what? They rocked the boat, and Red went in head first. Oh, very interesting. Tim, go take a look at it on Amazon, please. We have the crowd with us. All you mob bloggers. Leanne rolling along. Yeah, Julie. I feel the same way. Jacqueline Moore, how you doing? Good to see you, folks. Anyway, Chris's book I find to be Chris Curtis, and I find it to be very, very interesting. I think you'll like it. So even if go take a look at, thank you, Tim. You're going to take a look at it. Thank you, buddy. You'll find you can read. If you hit the book itself, once it's up there, you can read like the first chapter or what it's all about, and that'll help you. Howard Herman, 28 degrees in North. God. With stuff and propane. Okay. Chainweaver had a real rocket scientist in the book I read. he's articulate to talk to, and prison really did him some good, and he talks about it. He's involved in all kinds of programs trying to help people that had drug addiction problems and things back in the day. Um, he's really, I find him remarkable. I find him remarkable. So Chris Curtis is an unusual person, and you're right, Tim. It will give you a synopsis. Yeah, chain waver. It was a 16-foot frame, and that boat was not meant for to be me being today. Um, I'm getting tired of people running to help me. They think I can't do it myself. I had the net to water. I was going to pull it out. But anyway, I got a very interesting story for you. And before I tell you the story, I'm actually going to put up a picture and describe what my business looked like in those days, because it may give you a visual uh, idea of what it was really like. Now, that was the Peeping Tom. It was set back. On the left is the Over 21 bookstore. On the right is Chicago's Old Town Italian Beef. And in the back was the original building. That was before I added my apartment up on top. That was right after I bought it. It was a very good uh, idea. But anyway, I'll give you an idea of what it was like when I described the story to you, which I think you're going to find very funny. I did. I still love it today. It's one of those stories that I really like. Julianne wants to know, did the fish get away? No, the fish did. I went in the water, but the fish did not get away. I'm not going in the water without. Oh. Joseph, I received the book, and it was a great read, highly recommended. Thank you, Joe. Are you one of the people that just put up a review on Amazon? Because I have 4 more that just came up recently. But if you would put one up, if you aren't the one or one of them, I really appreciate it. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever you think about it. It's on Amazon. So if you're an Amazon customer, you can do it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though. You recommend it? That's great. Sounds like the fish landed red. Yeah. No, it's the younger man that was in the boat with me that thought I needed help and I couldn't do anything myself. It was his fault. No, it was a catfish. It was a catfish. We were on. I can't pronounce the name of the river, but it's not far away from me. Tommy, never apologize for being sorry. Good to see you here. And whether you're late or not, it is what it is, buddy. Gopher dog. No, I didn't see the story of the great white shark, the guys that caught it. You're right. They all want to do something to try and do something to try and help me. They think I'm an invalid. An announcement. Doing all right. Hopefully tomorrow in New York, President Trump will not be arrested. We are dealing with a high volume of crime, which the Manhattan DA should address. I agree with you, but even if he is arrested, Joachim, his Secret Service will be going with him, and they will not leave his side. So that's the way it goes. Yeah, it is different, Michael Graham. Right now, it's I forget the name of the hamburger place it is, but even before I left, the whole front of it was glass where you could see through it, and that sign wasn't on top because those were my bedroom windows there, and or my living room windows there, and above that, that A-frame roof. Let me go and show you again. That A-frame roof, I kicked it out and brought it up another story, and that's where I put 4 bedrooms up there and a couple baths. Tim, how you doing? God bless you, buddy. Good question, Jim Jagger. Hey, Red, if you would have crossed paths with Frank Schweiss in Florida, do you think he would have tipped his hat at you like Marshall did? No, definitely not. No way. No, he wanted blood. There's no doubt in my mind on that one. Okay, so I'm going to get into the story. This is somewhere around 1975, 1976. Marshall Caifano and Johnny Rogers and Dick Hoyt and myself were in my office and in Chicago's Old Town Video. And we were talking. And as we were talking, going over things, we lost track of time. And what happened was that we got ready to leave. And as I showed you in the picture, I could put it up again if you like. It's a long ways to the street. But when I opened the door, I was the first guy going out. And their cars were parked across the street at Dr. Scholl's. And when I opened the door, it was lit up like daylight. Quartz lights everywhere. It was lit up like daylight. And they had tripods and everything else. And there were camera crews out there. And what had happened, I didn't know at the time what happened. But I just looked at the door and said, oh, shit, close this. And they were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It just was what it was. But at any rate, we went out. I talked to them. They said, how are we going to get out of here? And they were talking about outweighing the news cameras because we didn't know what it was. What it was is somebody placed a bomb on the Over 21 bookstore next door to me. And that's what they found the bomb. It never went off. And the news cameras were out there doing their mini cam bit for the news that evening. So it was dark out. It was very different. And I'll answer your question. And let's see, who had the question? Okay. We'll get to your questions later, guys. So anyway, what happened was I came up with a brilliant idea on my own. I had a garage in the back. I had a 3-car garage in the back there. I owned several pieces of property right next to each other on Wall Street. And in the garage, I had my Lincoln. And so I said, I got an idea. We'll go out the back way. We'll use my car. And so Marshall, Dick Hoyt, Johnny Rogers, and myself, I backed the car up. I pulled it out of the garage and I put it up at the door. They got in. And as we got in, I started to drive. And everybody's safe in the car and everything. We get to the end of the alley at Schiller and Wells. And there's a police officer standing there. He's got the alley blocked with his car. And hits the little microphone on the side. And the speaker goes on the car, the loudspeaker, and he tells me to stop. And I do. And I'm real cool, calm, and collected through this whole thing. And he comes over and he says, what are you doing back here? And I said, I own a business over here. He said, can I see some ID? I said, sure. Showed him my driver's license. Really quiet, easy going. I just, went along with the program. So he hit his microphone. He called the sergeant. And he said, do you know so-and-so? And he gave off my name, Red, we met. And he said, William, we met. And he said, oh, yeah, he owns the porn shop back there. He's okay. And so he said, okay, you can go through. And we're just about to pass the squad car and get out of there. And he shined a flashlight. This was at nighttime. It was dark. And he shined a flashlight in the back seat. And he said, who are these people back here? And Marshall was curled up in the corner. I mean, he was curled up in the corner. And I said, they're all friends of mine. And he said, oh, okay. And we drove on. We wound up going to, Marshall said, go here, go there. And he had a nephew, Rocky's son, Richard Caifano, who lived in Sandburg Village. And we went there, laid low there for 4 or 5 hours. And by that time, all the commotion was gone. I drove the guys back, and they picked up their cars and left. And Marshall never forgot how quick-witted I was about getting him out of there. It was just very good. There was a bomb there, but it did not go off. It did not go off, Mike. There was a bomb there. Big Mo, was there ever a contract on my life? Yes. Yes. I was told there was. The FBI told me there was. The news told me there was. It was Frank Schweiss. Alpha Boss, Red, did any of the guys stay the night at your apartment? Yeah, several. If it was late or I was having a problem or something like that, they would stay. But they were usually bruisers. I mean, big guys. People could handle just about anything that happened. So Flim, a flick, risk. Hey, Red, thoughts on Joe Kennedy and possibly using his kids to destroy the mob after the mob tried to kill him? It started way before then. It really did. It started way before then. It started back in 1972. And I don't know. There's a lot of things that happened. The Attorney General was actually, Bobby Kennedy, was actually working on the mob quite a bit. And then his JFK was murdered. So I hope that answers your question. Robert, how you doing? Who do I think planted the bomb and why? The Over 21 was owned by Reuben Sturman. He owned Capital News. And when he went to prison, he put the Over 21 in about 19 other bookstores in Chicago in Paula Lawrence's name. Paula Lawrence lived at 55 East Scott, which was right behind Wall Street. And actually it was over by Clark. But it was a East and West Street, unlike Wall Street, which is North and South. And he wanted the store back. And she said, no. I went through all the FBI investigations, all the heat that came down on you for income tax evasion, and I'm not going to give you the store back. The license is in my name. The property's in my name. I'm keeping everything. So what they did was they hired some bikers, Hell's Angels, out of Arizona, and they came in and placed the bombs. That wasn't the only one. They placed on quite a few other places too. How you doing, Kissy Cat? Kissy Cat, that cookie is great. I love it. I really do. Spirit of Justice, are you familiar with the Outfits Last Super Photo? No, I'm not. Not the last one. The Last Supper I am, which was a exhibit in Family Secrets. I'm very familiar with that. I got a copy of that. That picture itself was at DeVarco's house. He was in the Boss of Rush Street crew, and they raided him in 1978 and on income tax. And the FBI was there, but also the IRS CID was there. And one of the guys was a friend of mine, Rich Lucas. And he gave me a copy of the photograph. And he said, hang on to this. It's going to be really valuable someday. Never thinking it'd be an exhibit in a trial and everybody and his brother would have one. I thought it was going to be unique. Kissy Cat, never say you're sorry. We're glad that you're here. God bless you, dear. That's the one we're talking about, Sean Pender. The one where Joey's in a suit and everybody else is. That photograph was found in a vent, a heating and air conditioning vent in Caesar's apartment. DeVarco. Temporarily, hello, Rush Flex. Black Region 81. Hello, all. How you doing, Black Region? Good to see you here. If you can, folks, hit that like button. Show me some love here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Darn post office lines are terrible. They certainly are. They laid a lot of people off. Michael Graham, Red, did Wells Street ever have any kind of committee for the Wells Street businesses? Yes, they did. And I don't know if it's still there today, but we had lights that were outside on the sidewalk, and they were kind of dome lights. And we had to pay extra for those through the association, the neighborhood association. Outfit Boss, this is the Last Supper photo when Joe Lombardo became street boss. Yes, you are totally accurate, Outfit Boss. Automobile. Hey, yeah. And Red we met. Tracy, Gamble, you never have to say you're sorry you're late. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks for coming by. So, I don't know how many people actually heard the story about Marshall Caifano, but you can always. Okay. Dave, you have a very good question. Marshall Caifano was moved out to Vegas in 1964. And he was moved out there as an overseer, kind of like Tony Spilaccio was. And while he was out there, he muscled Ray Ryan. And Ray Ryan testified against him. And because of that, Uh, he did 10 years in prison. Part of it, most of it was in Leavenworth. But it was very good. He ran a tight ship. He's just big on the extortion part. You had to pay for those old time street lights on Well Street? Cheap ass city. No, there were street lights, but those were a special like mushroom lights that came up. And when I bought the building, the people that owned it before me didn't have it. And I had two street lights. And so I looked down the street and said everybody else had them. So I said, how do you get turned on? And they did have a committee that, like a neighborhood association. And they collected dues and different things. I didn't really belong to it, but I told them I wanted the light on, and they sent me a bill once a month. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy Gamwell. Anytime, Brad. God bless you. XX. Okay. Kissy Sag says hello, Leah. I guess we're saying hello back to each other. Hey, the gang's all here. So that's the story of Marshall Caifano. A lot of people don't understand how powerful Marshall was. He really was. He was a powerhouse. Hey, Stacks, Bill, how you doing? Hey, you stopped by, huh? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Hit that like button for me. I need all the help I can get. Tim Peroni, how well did Frank Collada and Marshall Caifano know each other? I don't even know if they did. Caifano really wouldn't hang out with Frank, I'll tell you that much. It was very, very different. He had a different relationship than I did. Bill Stacks, you already hit the like button. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I stopped over and saw your show, and some of you upload, so they're kind of hard for me to do. Jim Magnifici. Marshall lived a long life, and he died of natural causes. And it was after all his prison stints. There were a lot of them. And like Dave says here, Marshall was part of the old 42 gang way back when. Michael Graham is stating, okay, let me get this, is starting to seem like the outfit wanted to move everywhere into Las Vegas. That became a pain in the butt to them here in Chicago. No, it was actually, I was talking about this today, and when they were arrested for a $2 million skim, it was more like that's all they could catch him for, because there was really a lot more than that. Over a period of time, from 1955 or 1954 until the arrest of the skim, there was probably about $250 million that came through there, and that was a lot of money. 250 million, that was a lot of cash. John Apollo. Hi, you're Red and everybody else. Well, we all say hi back to you, John. Kissy Cat, would Vegas Mob tolerate filming in their casinos or pictures back in the day? No, no, they did not. At one time back in the 60s, they had a photographer that would go around and take pictures, and they would give you a receipt. It was on 35 millimeter film, and you could buy the pictures from them. But that stopped. It really did. And the last time I was out in Las Vegas, let's see, with Adam, I think you folks remember that. Some of you do anyway. What happened was I wanted some pictures taken. I was playing at a high stakes table, and I wanted some pictures taken. And the pit boss says, no photographs in here, period. But we did sneak a couple in. I just haven't shared them with you folks. Tim Peroni. So when Tony got murdered, did the Chicago outfit send somebody out to take his place? They did, but I don't know who it was, and they really didn't last very much. Red, any plans to come out to Vegas in the summer? I've thought about it. I can take the heat, I'll tell you that much. Raymond Martin. Hi, Red from Chicago. Hi, Ray. How you doing? Good to see you. Marshall was a pioneer out there to oversee things. He was very good. Sean Pender, I was told several times to stop taking pictures in the Riviera. Never listened. I listened. We snuck them in when the pit boss wasn't looking. We took one or two selfies with the table. There were a lot of chips sitting on the table. There's about maybe 6 million chips on the table. It's a baccarat table. Yes, Kissy Cat, you're a native out there, aren't you? In Las Vegas? The Riviera and the Westward Ho were fun casinos. I think they all were fun back in the day. It's just different now. Outfit Boss, Red, was Marshall easy to do business with? He was very easy to do business with. Marshall would listen, and he was logical. He was intelligent. Although you never know that from all the prisons sentences he got, but he would make decisions. When Kurt was shooting at me, all I had to do was say, I quit. That's it. I can't deal with him. Guy wants me out, wants the keys. Here, Marshall, you take the keys. I'm out of here. I thought you people were men of honor. And as I wrote my book, Outfit Boss, and he turned around and says, what's the problem? I told him, he said, come on, we're going in the car. We'll take care of it. And he realized that I would be a more loyal, honest person than Kurt would. I had a better reputation. Let's see. Comp 3602. Hi, Red. Question. Do you think any of the May guys actually had a conscience or not believing of the criminal mentality? No. I don't think they had consciences. I mean, they didn't lose sleep at night, I'll tell you that much. And I didn't know many that were really heavy drinkers. Matter of fact, I can't think of one that was a heavy drinker that really, guzzled down the booze or anything. They like to have their wits about them all the time. They're very good. Sean Pender, Your favorite was Slots for Fun, 99 cents, footlong hot dogs. Yeah, those were the days, man. Kissy Cat says, Tim, Louisiana is Golden Nugget now owner of the Houston Rockets, owns all of them. Interesting. Spirit of Justice, it was never proven. I think you're talking about Estelle. It was never proven. There were several people there, but Estelle was a prostitute and a 26 girl, and Caifano knew her quite well. He had an affair with her, and if anybody had to take care of the business, it was probably him. But I don't think he was alone. There were several people up in that apartment that night. It was on Addison Avenue, I believe. Black Rain 81. It seems like everyone who was sent to Vegas got killed. No, Marshall didn't get killed. Marshall died of natural causes. I believe he was 93 or something like that. And the newspapers wrote quite a column on him. It was very interesting. Jim Magnifici, my friend's cousin, a pit boss at the baccarat tables at the MGM. When they were watched a lot of high stakes gambling, the Asian persuasion. Yes, and my host was not Asian, but he was Iranian, and he was actually looking for that 9 card. I mean, he was looking for that 9 card, and he was playing like $250,000 a hand, sometimes 10,000 a hand. They raised the limits for him. He was the only one at the table, and he had me come and sit next to him. I enjoyed myself very much. Very nice guy, wonderful man. George Wilson, when they talk about Milwaukee Phil and street tax, did that mean all the other way to Wheeling and Libertyville? Yeah, it did. Wheeling, Libertyville, but I don't think it went to Phil. It went to somebody else. That territory was Gussie, Alex, other people had business in that territory. But the Villa of Nice was in Des Plaines or unincorporated Cook County. Wheeling, Illinois, Libertyville. There was another place I'm trying to think, Vernon Hills. All that up there, all the gambling up there was well taken care of. Was Marshall a killer? He certainly was. He certainly was. But he seemed like a nice, easygoing old man. He was 68 years old when I met him. And he was really easygoing. I really liked him. I mean, he was a straight shooter. I never lied to him. He never lied to me. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you something, folks. The first count we did was when we first started opening business. And it really wasn't that much. And that was the day I was telling you about when the news camera was there. No, that was another day. The first count was before then. And so when we counted up the money, there was $1,000 in quarters. And he said, okay, give me $500 in cash. And he split that with Johnny Rogers. So there was $250 for him and $250 for Rogers. And he looked at me and he told me, he said, I don't care what happens. If you make $10 or $10 million, I want to see an envelope for $500 a week, every week. And we shook hands on it. It was a deal. The deal was in my favor because less than 2 years later, I was taking maybe $10,000 a week out of that back room and only giving him $500. and nobody ever upped my ante. Frank Schweiss tried to. Didn't work very well. Hey, Red, was there any mob dealings on the northwest side of Chicago, or was it clean? I don't know. I really don't. I know the suburbs, it was different. It was very distant. I don't really know. Frank Ferrero, wasn't he involved in Johnny Roselli's murder? No, that was Frank Schweiss and Wayne Bach. They were both involved in it. I hung around with a lot of savory characters. Very different people. There's one close by. Sean Pender, is there a cemetery within O'Hare Airport? Not within it, no. No. There's one close by, though. Anyway, folks, please hit that like button. I don't know how many people we got in here. Here we are on March 20th, 2023. What do they say about March? In like a lion, out like a lamb? Well, it came in like a lamb and it's going out like a lion. Black Rain 81. How did I stay calm around a bunch of crooks and killers? I wrote about it in my book, buddy, which if you want, I'll send you an autographed copy if you go to my website at redwemet.com. I think my training from the Marine Corps, when I was in the Marine Corps, helped a great deal. I mean, I could really do just about anything. That social club on Belmont Avenue is still open. Thank you, Sean. And I take it we have 72 people in the room. Rhonda, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. I'd like to see you. I really do. We got 72 here too. Not many people. West of Harlem is already out of Chicago. Thank goodness. 67 likes. /43 likes now. I don't know what that means. Tracy, already pressed the like button. Now I need to go sleep early. I'm up at the crack of dawn. Be safe. God bless you. Good night. And same to you, Tracy. Be safe. Get some good rest. Stay healthy. And God bless you. Bless you. Kissy Cat. Tilton Frada owns the Golden Nugget, the Houston Rockets. I do business with them in Las Vegas. He's worth some $8 billion. He owns a ton of restaurants all over the country. Thank you, Tommy Bridges. Appreciate that information. Jim Magnifici, did another porn store open up in your old story? In my old story? There was a porn shop that opened up down the street for me. It lasted about 2 days. And I had nothing to do with it, didn't even talk about it. It just disappeared. I don't know what they did. Kissygad, Tommy, his neighbor's with my friend Mindy of oil and gas owner. Okay. Jim, you're asking about my old store. I don't know exactly. Tommy says, that's cool, Kissy Cat. Thank you, Tommy. RV Doc, Red Channel Lake's history is a whole lot of story on its own. It certainly is. There's a lot of recreation out there. A lot of things went out there. I know a lot of people that went out there. The crowd. Time for a Chicago hot dog and a strawberry. Sony Pop, huh? Julianne, I hope you're staying safe out there in Iowa. Red, thank you for your show and making my day brighter. If I can make any day brighter for you, Julie, I will. Jim Magnifici, last time I woke up at the crack of dawn, she kicked me out. Rhonda finds that funny too. That's why you got to stay at your place. That way they don't kick you out. You kick them out. Robert DeLeo. Hi, Red. Did you ever meet Tony Accardo? No, I never did. He was way up above me. Michael Graham, forget marketing. Make my day brighter. Send cash. I love you. George Wilson, thank you for stopping by, George. Great show. I hope so. Hope you enjoyed the content. Portillo's is expanding, huh? Thank you, Tommy Bridges. What was the crack of dawn? Frank Ferrero. And the crowd, when I was young, when I was single, it was when I was younger and single, by the dawn be gone. Yes, that was a very common phrase. Very, very common. Anyway, I want to thank all of you folks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you on my vlog. I have an announcement to make too. Several announcements. Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate that, dear. Julie sent me a super sticker. Thank you, dear. God bless you. We got to do something about your panic disorder. Jim Magnifici asked me if I had any corned beef on St. Patty's Day. No, I didn't. But I did drink some green beer. Thank you, Kissy Cat. Thank you very much. Rhonda, love you, Red. I love all you folks. I really do. You are my show. You really are. Thank you so much. And I had the announcement. Wednesday on my vlog, we'll be having a special guest back, and he'll be talking about interactions with Tony Pellicano. He'll be talking about some other things with Nick Calabrese, and he'll be talking about Joey Iandino and the deaths of both of them. and his name is John Drummond, and he will be back. John's coming on Wednesday, which is in 2 days, and we should have a good time with him. I talked to him this morning, and he feels up to a show. So as long as everybody's polite to him, I think it's going to be a great show. John is a very dear friend of mine. John the Bulldog, you got it, man. Automobile. Pete Byron, why did the German try to get more money out of you? Because he could. He thought I was intimidating. Actually, he started me paying in advance. He said, no. You're in advance from now on. He said, you don't pay what you did before. I'm changing it. I said, okay. He was going to jail anyway. I had him on tape. I got the money back. Yes, John Drummond. Michael Graham. We all love John Drummond. He's a great guy. I try and keep in touch with him as much as I possibly can. Gopher Dog. Be blessed, Red. See you Wednesday. I thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank all of you. I want to thank you for stopping by. Mobsters Chronicles. Okay, let's get you up here. Hey, Red. How you doing, pal? Been catching the replays since it's hard to catch lives during the workday. Make sure to remind people to give you a thumbs up before they actually enter the chat. Okay. I'll do it. Thank you, Mobster Chronicles. And for anybody that did that, we got 68 watching and 68 likes. So that's pretty good. Thank you, folks. I love you. Awesome. Love John. Automobiles, thumbs up. Mr. Tony Two Dogs, great show. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Tony Two Dogs. And thank you for stopping by. Yeah, when I called John this morning, he was, we talked for about maybe 2.5 hours, John Drummond. Adam's kind of excited too, because John's a friend of mine. And if he wasn't a friend of mine, just like Diane Hansen, he wouldn't have been on my vlog. You know, I asked Sean Pender, I asked Adam if he would do a short on that. John Drummond and the Bears clip is great. And believe it or not, Adam did not know what a tramp steamer was or a forecastle, because he said, it's getting rougher than a forecastle on a tramp steamer. And I explained it to him what it was. But we have to remember that Adam is a little bit younger and from a different generation. Jim Motivation, great to hear John is doing better. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. John Apollo, we all love you, Red. We just forget to like you. Okay, buddy. I would consider John Drummond to be the best authority on the Chicago mob. He's really great. Mobster Chronicles. Otherwise, you can't see the thumbs up icon, especially from an iPhone. I know that's a problem. People don't even know how to subscribe on some of the handheld devices. They can't see them. Low Rider. Great show. Thank you, buddy. And it's time for me to say goodbye, folks. So, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. God bless every one of you. And I'll see you Wednesday on Moblog.
The combination of the videotapes and Ouimet's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.